Hey guys, what's up? So I decided to jump on this live a little bit earlier, and I'm trying to fix this. My little holder here keeps popping down. I'm trying to keep the sun out of my eyes. It's going down now, but as you guys are jumping on, just say what's up, Shameca. Let me know you're there. What's up, everybody? Say hello. Let me know you're there. I'm gonna let Facebook do its thing and start notifying people. I'm excited to chat with you tonight. This has actually been kind of fun for me. Here's why it's fun for me. Bringing my son here every week, it's causing me to be consistent with doing this, and I get to practice doing my live streams in under 30 minutes. So let's see how I do today. Hi, is it Tamalon? That's probably your name, right? Hi, how are you? Welcome, guys. I'm gonna play with this stuff. I like playing with it. I just waved at you. Say what's up. Here's the deal, guys. As I'm sharing this today, first things first, if you don't have a pen or a notepad, grab one, because I'm gonna be sharing some knowledge bombs with you that are gonna help you a lot with selling more in your business. Also, share this out. If you already know that, I give amazing value with the live stream, share it out to your community as you're listening. It's bouncing a lot. As you're listening, if things are hitting you and you're having revelations and aha moments, share this out to your community as well. So I'm just going to jump right on in. Again, as you guys are getting notified, if you're watching on the live stream, hey, what's up? Just say hi to me. I'm moving so much. Let me find a good place for this to be in. Okay, that's good for me. Hope it's good for you. Here we go. Okay, so today I want to talk about 3 irrefutable things that come up that will let you know that you have a roadblock or that it's stifling your ability to create another 6 figures in business, multiple 6 figures in your sales. And so I just want to share that with you. This is bouncing so much, it's driving me insane. Let me see if I can fix this, guys. It's just annoying me. It's probably not annoying you, but it's annoying me. Hey, Danny, what's up? I'm gonna wave to you too. All right, so I want to share this with you because I think it's super important. If you know me, you know I teach sales, but what happens when women come to me who are trying to go to the next level in sales in their business? They want to sell for higher price points. They want to sell to more clients. They want to sell more often. It doesn't matter how brilliant they are. It doesn't matter how amazing they are at what they do. Oftentimes, there's some sneaky underlying thoughts and ways of thinking, beliefs that they have about themselves and about sales and about asking for money that really get in the way. And what happens is it chips away at their self-esteem. It chips away at their confidence and so much more, to the point that they end up kind of hiding in plain sight. You know they're there. You know you have a business, but they're not showing up as powerfully as they need to be. And so understanding this was the shift that got me from just teaching sales strategy and scripting and overcoming objections to really looking at what's the undercurrent that's stopping them from having the success. And here's what I know that I know. Until you get this right, until you really start to become aware and deal with how you're showing up in situations and these underlying beliefs, no amount of strategy will help you sell more. No amount of strategy is going to allow you to step into charging somebody $5,000 or $10,000 for the work that you do. And so that's these power talks that we're having on Mondays. This is what I wanted to focus on. Not necessarily the how-to, what to do in business, but the awareness of how you're probably showing up that's absolutely keeping you stuck. And so today we're talking about how your success in business is a direct reflection of these 3 things that I'm going to share you. So here we go. Here's what I want you to know too. This awareness that I'm talking about how you show up, how you're thinking about, I knew that was going to happen eventually. I'm just going to hold this thing. How you're thinking about yourself, how you're thinking about your sales in business. This is where high dollar sales starts. This is where high-end sales begins. It begins with your thought processes. It begins with who you believe yourself to be. And so I'm hoping today is going to shift some things for you. Hey there. All right, so here, let's get right to the heart of this. I'm going to jump right in. And here's the thing I want to say too. For those of you who are already selling high-end and you're moving into selling your services for, let's say you're already selling your services for $5,000 or $10,000, and you're moving into selling them for $20,000 or more, or $15,000 or more. This is still going to be helpful for you, because you guys hear the thing I say all the time, if you watch me often: new level, new devil. So every time you climb to that next level of investment with you, the next level of reach and impact you want to have, some of the same old sneaky thoughts will come in, because they come in at that level. So you may master it at the $5,000 level, and then when you want to raise your prices to $15,000, for the year, or $20,000 for the year, these same thought patterns begin to sabotage you. They begin to become roadblocks to your next level of success and your next level of income and revenue in your business. So no matter where you are on this scale, today is going to help you. So just kind of lean in. I want you to start to become aware. This is the thing that helped me the most. For a long time, I struggled to build my business, and I don't wish that on anyone. It's been a good decade of a journey for me to get to where I am right now today. And the thing I didn't realize, I would search the end of the world, I would invest in programs, I would buy things, and I was learning all of this strategy, and I couldn't figure out why I couldn't do 6 figures or multiple 6 figures, right? It was because of this stuff. When I began to get the awareness of how I was showing up and how I was thinking, I didn't see myself as a multiple 6-figure earner. I wanted it, I desired it, but when it came to like actually creating it, somewhere in my mind I thought, you know what, that's not for me. I did it before, I lost my business, I can't do it as a business owner selling myself. And so I really had to really get aware of the thoughts that I had that were happening unconsciously, the beliefs that I have that are happening under the surface, so that I can choose a different behavior whenever those roadblocks come up. And for a lot of you, that's what has you stuck. What has you stuck is not strategy. It's not you need to find the right mentor. It's not any of those things. It's not you need the step-by-step, or somebody needs to tell you exactly what to say on a live stream. It's this sneaky stuff. It's this underlying thought process, the beliefs that you have that have you showing up in a way and behaving in a way, or taking actions that aren't in alignment with the result that you say you desire. Okay, so I want to give you number one, and you guys can write this down. Here's number one. It's your standards. It's your standards, right? It's the standards and the things that you allow to come into your life. What is your level of toleration? How much are you tolerating or allowing in your business, in your life, that doesn't meet your standards? Let's start with clients, right? I remember taking on clients because I needed the money. And I knew they weren't really a good fit, right? I knew that there was some red flags about how I could help them, if I could help them, if they were going to do the work, the type of business that they had. But because I was trying to build my business, I just figured I'd take everyone that came in. So some of you have standards of being and living. You want to travel, you want to live nice, but then when you go to an event, you go stay in a Motel 6. And I know a lot of people don't do that, but I want to give you the most in-your-face kind of example so that you can understand. If your standard of living is multiple 6 figures, 7 figures, if that's what you desire to have, then who do you need to become? How do you need to live? How would you be making decisions right now if you were already that person? And so I needed to up-level my standards and what I was willing to tolerate. And so I would have people have payment plans, and they would renege on their payment plans. And some of you may be experiencing some of that stuff right now. And so I had to get to the point where I upped my level of standards. I made sure I had those kinds of conversations with people. I don't accept people who are not even willing to make the investment. If it's going to be a struggle for them to make the investment, we have a conversation about that. Maybe now is not the time. So my level of tolerations and the standards of what I'm willing to allow into my life, into my business, have changed. So I want to ask you guys a question. When you think about your standards, let's just look at clientele, the level of client that you're willing to accept. Do you think it matches the desired business you're trying to create? Do you think it matches? Right? So here's what I want you to type if it matches. My standards are great. My standards are great. If it doesn't match, my standards need work. Type it in the chat box, in the comment box. My standards need work, or my standards are great. And I want you, these conversations they're meant to be straight talk. They're meant to be open, and it's meant to be in your face, but it's also meant for you to have a reality check about what's really going on that may be blocking you. Like, you have this desire to make more money. You have this desire to charge more, but you're not. Why? Right? Why are you not attracting the kind of clients that you want? Here's what you need to understand. Thank you, Danny. My standards need work. Come on, guys. Work with me here. You're going to get the level of experience that you set the bar for. We set the bar for our experience in life, for our experience in our business. So if you don't like the type of clients you're getting, if you don't like the money that you're making, if you don't like, then change the standard. What's the minimum that you're willing to charge? What is the minimum viable client? Like, what are the things that your clients absolutely must have in place before you take them on as a client? If you don't have that, if you don't have a A+ star client list where you know if they don't meet this criteria right here, I can't work with them. Here's why I do that. It's not because I want to be snobby and say I can't work with this person or I can work with this person. It's because I want to create results. I want to make sure that the people I work with, we can get them the result. So that minimum viable, that bar that I set for the standard of client I take, it ensures that my programs work for the people that come into them. What happens when my programs work is I feel good about offering my services to more people that fit that bar where I've raised the bar to, because I know that we can create the results. When you don't do this, this is what siphons your self-esteem and why you start hiding, or you raise your prices and then people don't get results because the bar has been so low that you don't have the right client in the right program, and then you stop offering or you lower your prices because you feel like it's not working. I have to wait until I create X amount of results. It's because your standards of who you're allowing into your program, you either haven't set the bar, you haven't even thought about it, or you've set it so low because you need to create income. When you start to up your standards, you will start to bring into your world, into your business, and into your life the things that match the standard that you set. You guys with me? You'll start to bring into your life the things that match the standard that you set for yourself. So I want you to think about some areas. I've talked about clients, right? You say you want to make, $20,000 a month or multiple six figures. Can you do that if you have a small following and you're charging $197 for your programs or your work? And you're doing a lot of work. You're doing the work of a $5,000 program or a $3,000 program. You just are afraid that no one's going to pay it, so you just take whatever you can get. Right? We know that you have a viable product. We know you have a viable program because your competition's out there selling it for the other price. How can you raise your standards today? What else did I want to say? So the question I want to ask you guys is, what are you tolerating in your business and your life that has lowered the bar on your standards? Because wherever the bar is, whatever you're tolerating, that is exactly what you're going to get. You cannot expect. I had someone come to me one time and say, I would love to have $10,000 clients, right? And I'd love to have $10,000 clients who pay me in full. And I said, do you have a $10,000 program? And they were like, no. Okay, so when did you expect that was ever going to happen? So you cannot expect your circumstances to match something that you do not have. I said this the other day, last week. You'll never out earn what you're asking for in business. So you got to raise your standards. So here are my questions. What are you tolerating? Who do you want to be? How do you want to show up? What does she tolerate? You want to be a multiple six-figure earner? When you're at multiple six figures, or when you see women who are selling in their business at the multiple six-figure level or the six-figure level, whatever that is for you, who are charging $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 to work with them, what does she tolerate? What does she eat? Where does she go? Where does she travel? What level, where's the bar for her? And then begin to raise your standards to match that. And I know this stuff seems like, okay, well, how does this help me sell? It really starts with raising your inside game. And trust me, I'm just going to tell you to try it for a bit and see what happens, because this is the major stuff that I work on with my clients. It's not strategy. We do strategy. Like today, we did a full-blown intensive on how to speak to sell from the stage, right? But that's not the primary thing. Even if I give you that full strategy, if you still have some problems with toleration, you're going to miss an opportunity. You're going to go speak on a stage and you're going to get scared and not make the offer at all because you're so afraid of being rejected, or you're afraid that no one's going to buy. And so you leave money on the table. You lose. You're not winning. And even though you want to make more money in your business, you don't, because your behaviors are not in alignment with the goals, the wishes, the desires that you say that you want. Okay? What else do I want to say? Okay, so here's there's two parts to this that I want to share with you. There's a part of you that I call mini me. This is the part that wants to keep you small and safe. And then there's mighty me. So mighty me is the most powerful you. She's the one that's not afraid to offer her services for what she wants. She's not afraid to go on a live stream and talk about her business consistently. She's not afraid to ask for the sale. She's not afraid to charge whatever she wants. But mini me remembers your rejection. She remembers your setbacks, your disappointments. And so she's like, no, don't do that. Remember the last time somebody said no, it hurt. It didn't feel good. It made us feel bad about ourselves. So let's not make an offer, right? So you want your actions in alignment with your mighty me and not your mini me, okay? That's what you want to do. Your mini me is here to convince you that you're not good enough, that you're not ready. Convince you not to raise your standards, because if you raise your standards, you're only going to be disappointed. You want to tell her to go have several seats in the way back of the bus. That's what you want to do with her. When you become aware that she's speaking to you, what happens in that moment is that awareness allows you the opportunity to choose differently. This is what changed the game for me. I started behaving differently despite that sense of discomfort and fear. I started to tell people, hey, I can really help you do this. When before I was too afraid, like, okay, maybe they won't hire me because so-and-so does the same thing that I do and they have a bigger following. You know, they have, 52 published books or whatever the case may be. So start to be aware of where your behavior is out of alignment. And your tolerations, like you're willing to tolerate not having sales for 3 weeks at a time. You're willing to tolerate not booking a sales conversation for 6 months or 7 months. You're willing to tolerate being underpaid for the work that you do. You're frustrated. You probably are disgruntled with your clients because you're putting in so much effort. That's a toleration. That's where you set the bar low. And even though you don't like it and it doesn't feel good, what's happening with you is you're accepting it. So if you want it to change and you don't like it, you need to raise the bar. You absolutely need to raise the bar. All right, so raise your standards and everything else around you will fall in line. Your life, your business, the number of clients you have, the revenue, the money in your bank account, all of ours, yours, mine, everybody's, is a direct reflection of the standards, what we tolerate in our life. So if you want 2019 to be a multiple six-figure year, start looking at what are you tolerating that you really don't want, but you have been tolerating it, and change it. So that's number one. All right. Number two, your self-talk and your inner dialogue. So I've talked about this just a bit. I'm holding this and it's like moving all the way around. I've talked about this just a bit, but what you say about yourself to yourself is more important than anything else. It is directly reflected in how you show up in your business, the number of clients that you have, what you're willing to do, how uncomfortable you're willing to get in order to get to the results that you have. And we all know that in order for us to grow, that growth happens in our times of discomfort, right? There's usually a contraction that happens when it's time to grow, no matter what that is. Contractions happen when a baby is born. Contractions happen when a caterpillar is inside of the cocoon. So many different things where we see that this discomfort and contractions happen when it's time to grow. In those times of discomfort, what are you really saying about yourself, right? I'm going to give you two examples of this. So again, your life is a direct reflection of what you tolerate, but it's also a direct reflection of how you speak about yourself, how you speak about who your potential clients are, whether or not they will buy from you. So are you person A that gets up each day going, you know what, it's going to be an epic, amazing day. My clients pay me and they pay me in full and they happily do it. I'm looking for my next opportunity. Or are you the person that goes, okay, I'm going to try this again. I'm going to raise my rates, but I don't really think they're going to buy. And here's the key. Here's the key. Here's one more day that I'm going to try again. The key to this is not what you say with your mouth. This is the conversation that's going on. It's what you're saying to yourself when nobody's paying attention. It's the secret thoughts that you have, right? It's the secret thoughts that you have that no one knows. We all know you're good at what you do. You're brilliant at what you do. You are likely a confident person. But when nobody is paying attention, you have self-doubt, deep self-doubt. You're questioning whether or not you can actually get results for your clients, right? You guys know I'm on a college campus, right? That's an entire car full of kids driving by singing. Anyway, so this self-doubt is a secret self-doubt. Listen to me, okay? Because I know some of you will watch this and go, no, I believe in myself. I'm confident. I know my work is worth it. It's not about you knowing in the forefront of your mind. It's not about you saying how comfortable you are. Here's how you know what the truth is when it comes to your self-doubt and these conversations you're having with yourself that are underlying. How do you behave? What actions do you take when opportunities arrive? I have had several conversations this year where people have told me they have gotten opportunities from star athletes, television personalities who said, hey, I really would love to know how to work with you. Can you put something together for me? And instead of them saying, hey, let's book a call or putting something together, it's months later and they're telling me they haven't done it yet. That's how you know that you have actual self-doubt and these conversations that you're having with yourself. It's how you behave when real opportunities present themselves. You have a full-fledged conversation with somebody, a sales conversation, and at the end, you don't even ask for the business. You don't invite them to work with you. You're hoping and praying that they're going to say, how do I work with you? And when they don't, you're like, okay, bye. Well, talk to you later. And then you're like, okay, what should I have done differently? So your behavior, how you behave when opportunities like slam dunk type opportunities come your way will always reveal to you if you have this self-doubt, this limiting belief type conversation that's secretly going on in the background that you're really unconscious of and not really aware of. It's how you behave when opportunities show up. Okay? When you know you want to charge $5,000 for something and it gets to the end of the conversation and you're like, oh, I'll do it for $1,500. Self-doubt. This is what's happening. This is how you know. This is how you know you have an internal dialogue that is sabotaging you and is a roadblock to what you say you really want to have. So here's what I want you to do. This is how we shift this. What I want you to do is I want you to try this on for a few days. I want you to begin to shift your conversation. So how do you shift your internal dialogue? Is you start with your external. So a lot of times I'll catch myself slipping where I'll start to sabotage myself. I'll start to say things about myself that aren't true. The other day last week, I was at the retreat, at the Powerful and Paid Intensive, teaching my clients, and I was writing on the board and I was like, my handwriting sucks. And I caught myself like, oh shoot, here I am like degrading myself. It's the smallest little thing. So speak highly of yourself. Speak highly of your day. Speak highly of the clients that show up. And here's the deal. It will show up sneakily. You might just be talking about something that you feel like is matter of fact. You may say something like, the clients who show up for me just don't pay. You know, I can't find people who will pay me. That is a product of your internal dialogue coming to the outside. What you want to do is begin to shift your outside dialogue and don't say that anymore. Say, you know what? There are right clients for me, and the people who will happily pay me are showing up. They're coming. I know they're there. They're all around me. And guess what will happen? I want you to test me on this. What will happen is they'll start to show up. They will start to show up in your world and you'll be like, man, I'm booking sales conversations like nobody's business, because you get what you focus on. So I'm telling you to test me. Try me on this. Check yourself and your external language to begin to shift your internal. Now, there's more things that you can do to start to rewire your unconscious brain. And I do a lot of that work with my clients inside of my program. But this is the place to start with what you know is happening. Just pattern interrupt. It's okay if it comes out. Just stop yourself and reframe. Say it in a different way. Catch yourself. And what will happen is you'll pattern interrupt from the awareness over and over and over again. So you'll be aware that you're doing it, and then you'll stop. And then eventually it will become your default to do the opposite, to do the thing you really want to do. It will become a habit. One of the other areas that I had to check myself on my inner dialogue is being a receiver. And it started with something as small as accepting people's compliments. People would compliment me and I go, oh, that was nothing. It didn't take me that much time. I would belittle the compliment. Don't you know that every area that you do something in affects every other area? So it might seem like it's just a compliment that you're defecting, but that's actually your ability to receive. So if you have a problem accepting compliments, hello, high achievers, help and accomplishments, I promise you, you have a problem accepting somebody paying you $10,000 paid in full. I promise you, right? Or whatever level that is for you. $100,000, $50,000, $5,000, $2,000. Begin to check your patterns of speaking and work on small little things. You guys with me? So I want you to do that, and I want you to check back. Here's what I want you guys to type in the chat. I'm gonna see if I can scroll through here. When it comes to this pattern interrupt of the awareness of things that are blocking you, what is the thing that you wanna try to pattern interrupt that I've brought to your awareness right now? I want you to type it in the chat, in the comments, okay? No matter if you're watching live or on the replay, I wanna know what it is. So like I talked about accepting compliments. Maybe it's lowering your price every time you get on the phone with someone and deciding that, you know, can they pay or can't they pay, and knowing that you want to charge $5,000 but saying, you know, it's $2,000 or it's $1,000, like, because you just want the money or whatever. What has become aware to you right now during this conversation that you can begin to pattern interrupt every time it comes? You have the power. You have the power to choose a different behavior. Type in chat what your different behavior is going to be. Type in the comments what your different behavior is going to be. And don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid. Hey, guys, I see all you people joining me. Don't be afraid to publicly say, because really what you speak into the world is what's going to come about, not what you think about to yourself. Right? You got to put it out there. Gigi says accepting and being willing to be seen. Her own results for her clients. To her own results for her clients. Being open to receive. So guys, you're writing this stuff down, and as more comments are coming in, I want you to like diligently over the next 7 days until we meet again on this next power chat that we do next week. What I want you to do is I want you to diligently interrupt this pattern. Every time you catch yourself, Gigi, not wanting to be seen, just go be seen immediately. Don't make a plan to be seen. Do it immediately. However you look, wherever you are, just do it. Pattern and interrupt. Danny, whatever you can receive in, allow it. Right? It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's help, whether it's somebody wanted to split their sandwich with you, it doesn't matter what it is. Allow yourself to receive. Kathleen says they will pay that much instead of they won't pay that much. So let's look at the habit that you might have. Do you have a habit of, Kathleen, lowering the price because you think people can't pay? So pattern interrupt. Charge the price you want to charge and let those who can pay, pay. Those who can't, they can't. But if we do it before, we never know. Right? We never know. All right, I'm going to keep moving to the last one, guys. Here's the last one for today. And I hope this is really supporting you. I know that it changed my life, and that's why I'm bringing this stuff up. You know, I can come on here and teach sales strategies and what to say on live streams and all kinds of things like that. That stuff's great. But here's what I know. You guys know how to do what you do. You know how to talk about what you do. You're good at it. You love your clients. Like when you see them, you can see their problems a mile away. You can begin to tweak them, fix them. No one has to tell you how to do that. But where you struggle the most is allowing yourself to be paid. Right? Where you struggle the most is the underlying things that stop you, that make your behaviors not align with what you say you want. You don't go live, like Gigi said. You don't tell people the real price you want to charge, like Kathleen said, and then you're upset because you only made, you know, $5,000 this month, or $3,000 or $2,000. This is why. You know, you bring in 5 clients at $197. What does that give you? Right? Maybe $1,000? And then you're struggling and frustrated. All right, here's the last one. So we talked about tolerations, right? So tolerations was the first thing. What are you allowing and tolerating? What's your level of toleration in your business? You know, are you only accepting the good in your life? Your inner dialogue, your self-talk, what you say about yourself to yourself directly reflects how you show up in your business, in your life, in your sales conversations. It's also a direct reflection of what you're going to get back in your world. Here's the last one. Permissions. It's your permission. What have you given yourself permission to have? What have you given yourself permission to have? So I had to realize that when I wanted to start doing $10,000 months or even $5,000 months, one of the main reasons why I didn't have it wasn't because I wasn't a person who invested in myself. I do invest in myself. I have been investing in myself continuously to the tune of 6 figures, more than 6 figures over the last decade in my business. Probably a shorter time than that, actually, when I do the math. let's say, even say half of that, the last 5 years, 6 figures invested in my business, in my growth, in my learning, in traveling for my business to go to workshops and all kinds of stuff, right? So I know I have invested. I know I have learned. I know I have mastery level at my skill set, right? I've put in the hours to have that. I've put in the training and the dedication to get there. But when it came to allowing myself to receive at a higher level, allowing myself to be somebody who does $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month, I'm now working on this to allowing myself to be somebody who does $100,000 a month. It's work. I haven't gotten there yet. I've gotten close, but I have not gotten to the $100,000 a month mark. So here's what I want to tell you. You can never have you can never have something you despise or that you think is going to hurt you. You will never have it. And so if you have thoughts that if I'm somebody who makes X amount of dollars, this is what's going to change in my life, or I'm going to lose my friends, or, I won't know what to do with it, or I'll lose it again. Like me, I had a great business and then I lost everything. If these thoughts are happening, you haven't really given yourself permission to have it. I promise you. It's not just about what to say to your ideal clients and are they all around you. You've told yourself that you can't have it. I look at my business right now. I run a boutique business, right? I have a small following. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I run programs that have a small number of people. Probably the max at one time in any given program is like 15. And a couple of months, I think in like February or March, one of my coaches asked me, how come you don't put 25 people into that program? And I started to say I could, and I think I told him, okay, I can do that. But then I realized I didn't want to. Because somehow there is a story. I haven't given myself permission to serve, right? At that level. There is a story that says the intimacy, the level that I can give my clients when 25 people are in the program is going to shift and be vastly different and maybe affect the results that they get than when there's only 10 people. And I realized that is absolutely a freaking story. It's not the truth. And so that was my first awareness that I hadn't given myself permission to have a massive following, permission to have a massive amount of people enroll in my program at one time. I'm literally keeping myself small because I did not give myself permission. So I want you to really get clear. See, we lie to ourselves all the time. We tell ourselves, I really want it. I want to have 100 people in my program. But you really don't, because you're like, man, I'm going crazy with the 5 people in my program. So subconsciously, you're like, no, there's no way in the world I could handle 100 people in my program. And so even though you write out the numbers in your goals and your revenue projections that say you're going to have 50 people or 100 people, the reason why you don't get them is because you haven't given yourself permission to have it. And you're like, blah, Shameca, I give myself permission to make $10,000 all day long. No, you haven't. And I don't know what your reasoning is. I know what my reasoning was, right? I don't know what your reasoning is, but you haven't given yourself permission. Let me see what else I wanted to, here it is. So here's what you have to give yourself permission to do. So you guys have heard me talk about my 3 permission slips. If you haven't heard it, you can listen to any podcast that I've been on. I talk about them. I'm not going to talk about them right now. I'll tell you what they are. The permission slips I had to give myself before I was able to grow my business to the next level was permission to trust my value after I had lost everything. Permission to own my expert status, not comparing myself to anybody else, but just claiming myself as the authority that I know that I am, and not being afraid of people saying, well, who does she think she is, and all of that stuff. And the last one was permission to stop hiding and sell more. We have this thought that selling is icky, that, people are going to think we're money hungry, or, if all I do is talk about my business, then, people aren't going to like me anymore. They're going to unfriend me, all of that stuff. And so I had to give myself permission to show up differently in life and in my business. And I've shown up very differently. Now it's time for another level. We're doing an up level right now. So give yourself permission to deserve it. Give yourself permission to go after it, whatever that thing is. Give yourself permission to dream bigger than you've ever dreamed before and absolutely receive it, like to have it, to open your capacity to receive in a new level. You know, I see people tell me about, you know, wanting to make $100,000, and I'll ask them, what's the fastest way for you to make $100,000? And they'll think about what they currently have and limit it based on their current circumstances. And they'll start to go through, well, I have this $1,000 program and I would need 100 people in my $1,000 program. And I'm like, yeah, that's one way. But the fastest way is one client at $100,000, right? So are you giving yourself permission to say, I'm worthy of having this, right? I deserve to have it. I've already earned it. I don't have to earn it. It's available to me right now. Permission to become whatever it is you need to become and show up how you need to show up in order for you to realize that dream and the revenue that you want to create in your business. And if you're not giving yourself permission, I promise you, your life will reflect it, and it's currently reflecting it. Hey, my son's done. So where do you need to give yourself permission in order for you to hit that multiple six-figure level, or to just add another 6 figures to your business from wherever you are? Where do you need to give yourself permission? And if you want me to stand in agreement with you on that, I want you to type it in the comment section. Because one of the reasons why I have you guys type, so I can stand in agreement with you on your dreams, on your visions, on your desires for your life. The permission slips I wrote myself changed everything for me. It changed the game, because I told myself, you know what? Why not you? Why, if somebody else can just easily, you know, close a sale for $10,000, why not you? Why, if other people can fill a program, why not you? I hadn't given myself permission to win in that way. Why? Let me tell you why, because I think this is important. And this is the last thing I'm going to share. The reason why I hadn't given myself permission is because all of my life, I had told myself this story of I'm a fighter, right? I'm a fighter. And so my perception on my life and building my business, hey, Courtney, on my life and building my business was all about it being hard. I had to fight the battle to get to the other side. And I started to tell myself and give myself permission for my business to just be easy, for sales to just come in like clockwork, that I didn't have to grind and work it out and work all hours of the night or go through hard battles so I can become the champion and the fighter on top, right? I didn't realize that that was a story I had been telling myself. And so what was happening is every step of the way, there was an uphill battle. And when I started to shift that story and just give myself to win in life and in business with grace and ease, my life transformed. So where do you need to give yourself permission to have, to be, to do whatever it is that you desire? Okay, so here are the 3 things one more time. The first one that could be blocking you is your standards. What are you tolerating in your life and in your business? Your life and your business are going to be a direct reflection of your standards. Where do you need to raise the bar on your clients, on what you charge, on how you experience life on a day-to-day basis, where you stay, how you fly, all of those things. Raise your standards and your life will meet you there. The second one is your self-talk and your inner dialogues. What you say about yourself to yourself is directly reflected in your results, your bank account, how you show up in life, how you show up in sales situations, all of that stuff. So shift that inner dialogue to begin to shift this secret beliefs and conversations that are happening unconsciously. You will begin to change them. The last thing is your permissions. What do you need to give yourself permission to receive, to do, to have, to be? And how can you begin to shift that for yourself today while allowing yourself to have more, bigger, bolder, an abundance of whatever it is that you want, but with grace, ease, and flow? It doesn't have to be an uphill battle. It doesn't have to be hard. It doesn't have to take you years to do it. It can happen just like that if you give yourself permission to receive it, if you allow it into your life. Hey, Lauren. So here's what I want to tell you guys. Don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Don't be afraid to ask for more. Don't be afraid to be more, to do more, to feel like you deserve more. This is where it starts. If right now you're saying, you know what, all I deserve is clients who pay me $500 a month, and so that's all I'm going to charge. That's really what you're saying, okay? Shift that. If you want more, begin to allow yourself, raise your standards, give yourself permission, and say differently with your mouth. People happily paid me $5,000 to work with me for a 90-day period of time, right? They're happy to invest. They're happy to find a spot on my schedule, right? Begin to shift even the things that seem like, well, that's just my reality. My reality is everybody that gets on the phone can't afford it, so people can't afford my work. Stop saying that. Shift what you say. Give yourself permission to receive more, right? And to enjoy more. This doesn't have to be grunt work and grind. It can be pleasurable to build a business to multiple six figures. Like, you don't have to kill yourself doing it. I just saw somebody who, inside of my Limitless Facebook group, we did a Supernova Sales School session Thursday. Yeah, it was last Thursday. And I asked them to do an assignment. And the assignment was meant to show how you can make more money with fewer clients if you have the right business model. But when this person turned their work in, they needed like almost 200 clients. And I was like, man, that's a lot of hours, because that doesn't include sales conversations. So it would have taken like 300 and something sales conversations minimum. I'm like, that's more than a full-time job if you were to go get paid by somebody else to make $100,000 a year, or like just under $200,000 a year. Is it worth it? Is that really what you want to do? So let's shift the business model, right? And it's because she had some tolerations that she wasn't really looking at. Right? So now she's going back to the drawing board. So you gotta be wide open to receive more of what you want, just like Courtney is saying here. But here's how you know you're wide open. It's not just about the want or the desire. Are your actions in alignment with receiving that? When opportunities come, are you saying yes? Even though the fear is there. Are you moving on those opportunities quickly? Are you charging what you want to charge? Are you showing up how you want to show up? Are you showing up a shell of yourself because you're afraid of being rejected? That's how you know. Your behavior will tell you if you have mindset issues and underlying beliefs that are in the way. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys for today. I wanted to tell you really quickly, there's 2 things coming up that I want you to be on the lookout for. The first thing is this. I'm doing a 5-day challenge that's going to be coming up soon. And it's called the Multi-Six-Figure Level Up. Listen, it's level up season. I really want to show you guys how simple this can be. And the reason why I focus on leveling up is because that's what it took for me. That's what I absolutely needed to do in my life to change the game. I had the knowledge, I had the wisdom, I had the skill set, but who I was being was not in alignment with what I said I wanted. And so I want to show you guys how to powerfully show up and go for more of what you want. I want you to level up your life, level up your business in a way that creates the revenue that you desire to create. So be on the lookout for that. You're going to have to sign up for it. For the Level Up Challenge to get all of the instructions and everything. The second thing is I'm getting ready to, in the next few weeks or so, open the doors to Play Big. And Play Big is my flagship program. It's 12 weeks. It used to be 8 weeks. It's a 12-week courage container and income acceleration. If you've been watching me for any amount of time and you've been saying next time, I'm letting you know it starts in January, but I'm getting ready to open the doors right now. I am still this round only taking 10 people in, okay? If you already know that you want to talk to me about Play Big, and I'll tell you right now, the investment's $6,000 paid in full. You already know that you want to work with me. Get yourself on my calendar so you can snag one of those spots. I'm probably going to do some early bird pricing or extended payment plan options. My calendar is at commandmoresales.com. If you go to commandmoresales.com, that's where you can get yourself on my calendar. Here's what happens when you go to commandmoresales.com. I have a crap ton of stuff on there. Here's why. I have that stuff on there because if you're doubting whether or not you can get results working with me, I have all kinds of case studies on there from all kinds of people in all areas of their life, from somebody who was totally about to get evicted and made $8,000 in 30 days. I'm not saying that I want you to come to me if you're in that stage, but what I'm saying is if you have doubt, you will find social proof there. You will find encouragement there. You will find Me Too moments for yourself, like, oh wow, if they can do it, I can do it. So that's there just to help you kind of see who I work with and why I do what I do and the results that I'm able to create, so that when we get on the phone, you're not having those thoughts of like, oh, okay, well, will this work for me? You'll know, because it's there for you right now. If you already know, you can just bypass and click the apply button, and it takes you to my calendar and a small application that you have to fill out. Why do I have you fill out the application? Because like I said earlier, I have client standards, right? I have a bar. The reason why I have the bar is because I want to make sure that I can absolutely help you get results. If I don't think I can, I will not accept you into the program. That's why that is there. Yes, it screens and filters, but it screens and filters so that we can have the best working relationship possible. I want to know where you are in your mindset. I want to know where you are in your business. I want to know where your goals are. And it helps us to use our time together on the phone better, because I'm not spending my time asking you the basic questions about where you are, what your goals are, and what you want to do. So that's the process. When we're on the phone, if you're not a fit for Play Big, I will let you know. If I have something else that you're a fit for, I will let you know. If I don't have something that you're a fit for, I will let you know, and I will do my best to give you a resource or a referral to someone else, or something that I have, a free resource, a checklist, whatever I have, a free training, which I have a ton of them that are super valuable, that people make money from all the time. I will point you in the right direction. So if you already know that this next round of Play Big is for you and you're ready to have that conversation with me, you want to go to commandmoresales.com, commandmoresales.com. And this is the last thing I'm going to tell you about Play Big. It used to be 8 weeks. It's 12 weeks. You're not going to find any other place with any other mentor who is as nosy as I am, who's all in my client's business. And if you guys are my clients and you're on this right now, or you're watching the replay, tell them, like, I'm in your business with what you're doing, what you're posting. I'm pushing you to get the results that you say you want to have, all of those things, because we're building this thing together, and I want you to get the results. I'm supporting you every step of the way in that. You're not going to find anybody else, right, who's asking you the hard questions, instead of just letting you go, oh yeah, I want to do this, and you're in la la land. We don't do that, right? And that container that we create, it's called a courage container for a reason. We're pushing you to go to take bigger, bolder action so you can get bigger, bolder results in your sales, or bigger, bolder sales results. All right. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. Again, last time, it's commandmoresales.com. Go there, fill out the application, watch all the case studies if you want to watch the case studies, and then go through that entire process. We'll jump on the phone and we'll talk. And here's who this is for. If you're ready and committed to leveling up your life, leveling up the belief you have and what you can receive in your life and in your business, that's who I want to talk to. You are willing to get uncomfortable, to do what it takes to shift how you're behaving and how you're showing up so that you can create the business that you want, so you can create that next 6 figures, go into the multiple 6 figures. You want to apply, okay? All right, loves, I will see you next week. Actually, this weekend, I leave for Barcelona, so I'm thinking I will probably be on a plane next week, so I won't be able to talk to you guys unless I think I end up there the day after. We'll figure it out. I'll figure out my time zone differences, and I'll let you guys know if we are going to be back here again at 5:30 Pacific time on Monday, depending on the time zone changes. So I'll figure that out pretty quickly, and I'll let you guys know. Thanks again for joining me. You could be anywhere. You can be investing your time anywhere. I don't take it lightly that you're spending it here with me. Don't forget to share this out to anybody you think this would support. All right, loves, talk to you later. Mwah.